Okay, in this video we're going to look at charging options for the DJI Mini 3 Pro, and specifically it's just because a lot of people have been saying to me that they don't think the charging times are quick enough on the drone, in the battery pack, or in the controller, and there is a reason for that, and I'll kind of show you why that is using sort of various devices. So sort of excuse the messy desk, but it's all to kind of show you what's going on with it. So what we'll do is, to start off, I've got, this is just coming from my MacBook Pro, so it's just a standard USB-C lead, and then I'll just plug it into the RC, the DJI RC, and then you can kind of see on here we've got the lights just kind of go in, it's charging, and then what we'll do is we'll actually, let me plug this in and then we can kind of do it fairly quickly and you'll be able to see the difference. So you can see, like I say, that is just charging up and it's kind of going, but then if we plug this in from a power bank, you can see suddenly those lights are rapidly going. So you can kind of see the difference between the two, and the difference there is we've almost got a I guess you could say it's a standard charge and a fast charge, but DJI don't really mention that there is such a thing as either of those. So essentially they want you to buy the power adapter that can come with the camera, the 30-watt power adapter, which I don't have. It's pretty much always out of stock and you can pretty much never buy it. But essentially all it is a 30-watt USB PD power adapter, a wall adapter. So kind of similar to this adapter here. So this is the wall charger for my Anker power pack. So I can use this, I can plug in a USB-C cable and that will charge it on, you know, what technically is, out of the two charges, is the quick charge. And that's because basically the USB PD standard, or power delivery standard, can be used across other devices. So essentially you need a USB cable that's capable of delivering it. So here we've got a power bank that has got a USB PD port, which you can probably, I'm probably not going to get a focus on that, but maybe take my word for it. There, USB PD. And it's got a USB-C port. It'll always be a USB-C port with USB PD. And then you'll also need a cable that is capable of delivering USB PD. So like if I take this phone cable, for example, it's USB-C to USB-C. But if we run that over to the DJI RC, you can see, oh, okay, no, that cable does support it. That's a bad example. I've got other cables that don't actually support USB PD, but yeah, it turns out that one does. I think actually that might be the quick charger for my phone. But yeah, some cables are not actually capable of delivering enough power for USB PD. So if you plug it into a USB PD device and the lights are still not going very quickly, and that does go for everything. So you know, if I plug in this to the power, into the power pack for it, you can see it's just telling us how much power is there, and then it slowly cycles through end to end on the batteries. And again, you can plug it into a USB PD device, and then you can see it's still just doing the initial, show you how much battery's there, and then it will start cycling through, and you can see it's doing that much quicker kind of cycle of charging. So it does work for all of them. It works for the drone, it works for the DJI RC, it works for the battery pack as well. It's essentially, you just need something that is powerful enough to do it. So like I say, the things I use, I've got the this power bank, which is it's the Anker Power Core 26800, and I do a lot of video work as well, where I also use PD to charge my camera, and this has been a really solid power bank. I've had a few different ones. Some of them just aren't powerful enough to do a proper charge, whereas this one I know is going to do that. It's quite a big unit. You can see it's almost as big as the RC, not quite as tall as it, but it's as wide. So it's a fairly big unit, but it's really good. It's got a lot of charge, and it's got a few different ports as well, so you can do PD and a couple of other things from it. And the other option that I quite often have with me will be this small rig V99 battery, again because I do video work, so I've got things like these mini V mounts, so you can probably just about see on the bottom. It's probably not that easy to see. Again, we've got USB. On this it's just called USB-C, but it is actually a USB PD port. So again, I could plug that in, stick it into the RC, and then you should be able to see, there we go, now it's quick charging. So there's a couple of options there that I can use while I'm out and about when I don't have access to power. And also, like I say, if you need just from the wall power, you're not really worried about kind of on the go power, then those two solutions you probably don't need. But you can get yourself, like I say, the DJI plug is a 30 watt plug, but you could also get yourself a something like this works. The Anker one, this is 60, so it's actually higher than the charger requires, but it just steps it down to what it needs, so it's not really a problem. I've heard people saying they use their MacBook chargers, the new USB-C MacBook chargers. They plug them in, and it just steps down the power and it charges them up. So it's this video is a little bit of a messy video, but it's just one of those ones to kind of say, when they put those times out saying you can charge a battery in an hour, or it's essentially is an hour, just under an hour in here, just over an hour, no, in here, sorry, not that one, just over an hour in here, but they're really giving you those times based on that faster charging rate. So if you're taking those times and doing it on a slower charge, then you need to factor in more time. It's not going to be enough. And then it's actually in the recommendations from DJI that you actually use a PD charger. So they're kind of making the recommendation that you want to get yourself an actual PD charging unit, whether it's like I say, through the wall or an on-the-go type solution. But it is something that they actually recommend for charging the batteries. And they also, if you're somebody that doesn't fly that often, they'll also recommend that you charge the batteries at least once every 3 months to kind of keep them going. So that's it really. I mean, if you've got any questions, obviously leave them in the comments, but hopefully this video's been helpful. If it has, give the video a like. If you want to see more content like this, then please subscribe.